Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav on Monday had claimed that Lord Krishna comes to his dreams every night. Akhilesh had said that Krishna tells him he would form the government and establish Ram Rajya in Uttar Pradesh after the state's upcoming assembly elections. Akhilesh was speaking at a media briefing there at SP office in Lucknow. Akhilesh had on Sunday, he did a puja of Bhagwan Purshuram, in fact, in an apparent bid to woo the Brahmin community. Here, Akhilesh had earlier claimed that if SP were in power, the Ram temple would have been built long ago. Akhilesh's statement invoking Lord Krishna comes at a time when Yogi Adityanath had promised a grand temple at Mathura recently.
रात में हमारे सपने में आए थे भगवान कृष्ण जी, कह रहे थे आपकी सरकार बनने वाली है, और एक बार नहीं आए, हर दिन आते हैं, हर दिन। कोई दिन ऐसा नहीं जिस दिन भगवान हमारे सपनों में ना आकर के कहते हो कि आपकी सरकार बनने जा रही है।
Now, earlier, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had assured that Mathura Vrindavan, the iconic birthplace of Krishna, would also get a grand temple like Ayodhya. Let's take a listen.
काशी में भगवान विश्वनाथ का धाम भी भव्य रूप से बन रहा है, और फिर मथुरा वृंदावन कैसे छूट जाएगा? वहां पर भी काम भव्यता के साथ आगे बढ़ चुका है। हमने ब्रज तीर्थ विकास परिषद गठित करके वहां पर भी विकास कार्यों को एक नई गति देनी प्रारंभ कर दी है।
सर, सपना आ रहा है अखिलेश यादव को कि श्री कृष्ण का वाक्य कह रहे हैं कि इस बार समाजवादी
का सपना आ रहा था, भगवान श्री कृष्ण का सपना आने लगा। तो सपने तो देखना चाहिए, और सपने अगर आ रहे हैं तो अच्छी बात है, लेकिन मेरा यह मानना है कि श्री अखिलेश यादव जी को 2022 के लिए प्रयास बंद कर देना चाहिए, तैयारी 2027 की करना चाहिए। 2022 का फैसला जनता ने कर दिया है, केवल वोट पड़ना बाकी है, गिनना बाकी है। चुनाव की तिथि घोषित होगी, वोट पड़ेंगे, वोटों गिनती होगी, सपा का सुपड़ा साफ होगा। 3B ब्रदरहुड का बंटाधार होगा, तो उनके लिए जो है वो कहां से उपयोगी योगी जी हो जाएंगे। इसलिए जो है वो अब सपने में सरकार तो जमीन पे अब दिख रहा है कि नहीं आ रही है, तो सपनों में ही सरकार जो है वो देख करके और सपने देख करके जो है वो थोड़ा संतुष्ट हो लेने दीजिए, क्योंकि सपनों पे कोई टैक्स तो है नहीं।
Now, shifting focus here, controversy has erupted over Surya Namaskar Directive. All India Muslim Personal Law Board is now opposed to the centre's directive to organize Surya Namaskaram program in schools between 1st to 7th January. The General Secretary of the Muslim Personal Law Board, Maulana Khalid Saifullah Rahmani, has said that Surya Namaskaram is a form of Surya Puja and Islam does not allow it. The board has also issued a statement saying that India is a secular nation. He said that customs and rituals of majority community must not be imposed on all religions. Maulana has also instructed Muslim students to stay away from Surya Namaskaram program. Earlier on December 29th, the University Grants Commission had issued a circular asking 3 lakh students in 30,000 institutes across India to perform Surya Namaskaram in front of the tricolour under the Amrit Mahotsav celebrations to mark India's 75th year of independence. Students from 30 states will now take part in this initiative.
अब ये सूर्य नमस्कार करना यानी सूरज की पूजा करना, तो हम सूरज की पूजा नहीं कर सकते, हम सिर्फ अल्लाह की ही पूजा करेंगे, उसके अलावा किसी की पूजा हम नहीं कर सकते। तो ये हमारे धर्म में शामिल है, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने हमको इस बात की इजाजत दी है कि हम हमारे मजहब पर रहें, हमारे मजहब के तालीमात पे चलें, उसका प्रचार करें, इसकी हमको इजाजत है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने दी है।
अखिलेश यादव जी को नमस्कार करेंगे, मुलायम सिंह यादव जी को नमस्कार करेंगे, राहुल जी को नमस्कार करेंगे, सोनिया जी को नमस्कार कर लेंगे, लेकिन सूर्य नमस्कार नहीं करेंगे। जहां से इनकी जेब भरती हो उनको नमस्कार करने में इन्हें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। तो ये विरोध भगवे का है और किसी को खुश करने का है, जिनको तुष्टिकरण की राजनीति के तहत अब ये बयान दिखाएंगे ले जाकर कि देखिए साहब मैंने दिया, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में इनकी दुकानें बंद हो चुकी हैं।
Now, the recent IT raids at perfume trader businessman in Uttar Pradesh's Kannauj has kicked off a political storm in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh, while questions are now being raised on BJP's vindictive politics just before polls In Uttar Pradesh, many now feel the raids are also justified. India Today's Ashutosh Mishra brings us his ground report from UP's Kannauj.
Kannauj, a small town in Uttar Pradesh, now in national news after tax raids on perfume manufacturers. The raids have yielded nearly 200 crore rupees and have become a flashpoint between the BJP and its principal rival, Samajwadi Party. Both are accusing each other of links to the massive cash haul.
Kannauj has its global identity for manufacturing scents, perfume, called it Ittar, in such large containers from small scale to medium scale to even at large scale. This city produces, manufactures scent and perfumes, which is not only consumed in India but all across the world now. This city came into controversy after the DGCI team raided earlier Piyush Jain, and within a week the income tax officials raided the closet of Akhilesh Yadav, Pushparaj Jain, and that became the flashpoint between the BJP and the Samajwadi Party. While the Yogi questioned where has this money come from, is this the reason why Akhilesh Yadav was opposed to the demonetization? Now responding to that, Akhilesh Yadav says it was a vendetta politics, it was targeting the opposition using the central agencies.
Kannauj used to be an SP bastion. Former CM Akhilesh Yadav's wife, Dimple Yadav, has been an MP from Kannauj seat but was defeated in 2019. Local journalist Neeraj Srivastava feels that UP is ready to witness a tough battle between both the parties.
अगर सियासत के हम उसमें देखें समीकरण में तो फिर समाजवादी पार्टी का ये गढ़ रहा है और ऐसे में मतलब जो है कि चूंकि समाजवादी चाहे मुलायम सिंह रहे हो चाहे अखिलेश यादव रहे हो तो इनके बीच में अगर देखा जाए तो मतलब भाजपा और बसपा कहीं ना कहीं अभी तक तो अछूती रही है, लेकिन 2017 में जरूर जो है भाजपा ने अपना एक कमाल दिखाते हुए 2 सीटें यहाँ से अपनी जो है तिरवा और छिबड़ा मऊ
समाजवादियों के गढ़ में भी साइकिल पंक्चर की है भाजपा ने।
जी जी जी, तो वो उसको कहेंगे मोदी लहर।
The city itself stands divided as far as opinion on the raids is concerned. While some support the raids, others question the timing.
जिसके पास काला धन वो तो निकालना जायज है, लेकिन ये 5 साल तक इंतजार क्यों किया गया? ये ठीक इलेक्शन से पहले ही क्यों किया गया? और किसी खास पार्टी से समर्थित लोगों को ही क्यों किया गया?
मैंने माना कि ये जो रुपया निकला ये 5 सालों में अगर हो गया तो इसको बदलने वाले ये भाजपा नेता कौन से, उनका नाम क्यों नहीं बताया जा रहा है?
Caught in the crossfire are the traders who think their businesses will take a hit.
So after the manufacturing these colorful bottles with the scents, perfume, Ittar, it all comes not only the local market of Kannauj, but it travels all across Uttar Pradesh, across the country and perhaps Middle East and across the globe. Now there is a faction in Kannauj who believes that it was a right action on the right time. Few people also believe it is a political action, just ahead of the elections, but largely it is going to impact the traders, the manufacturers of this city of Kannauj. They believe now this will shade the atmosphere negatively, not only for the traders, but also the buyers and perhaps the entire industry in Kannauj.
Local trader Suhail is worried that many like him will be forced to shift his business to someplace else.
कि वो बड़े लोग हैं, वो अपना कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ ना कुछ करके अगर उनकी ज्यादा परेशान किया जाएगा तो उनकी बाहर भी यूनिट्स हैं, वो अपना काम ट्रांसफर कर लेंगे। छोटा आदमी यहाँ परेशान हो जाएगा।
Pawan Pandey, another trader, lauds the income tax department and says the raids were justified.
कार्रवाई जो भी हुई है वो विभाग ने अपने हिसाब से की है और उनको जो जानकारी मिली उस हिसाब से उन्होंने सब कार्य किया है और जो भी उनके पास धन निकला है वो इस कारोबार से कोई जुड़ा नहीं है।
ये कार्रवाई बिल्कुल सही है। इन लोगों के बहुत सा पैसा रखा हुआ है, गरीबों को किसी प्रकार को दाना नहीं करते थे, इसलिए जो पैसा गया वो बढ़िया हुआ इसके लिए।
Kannauj is clearly divided when it comes to the ruling BJP's report card.
युवा बेरोजगार घूम रहा है। इस सरकार ने युवाओं के लिए कुछ भी नहीं किया है और जो पिछली सरकार ने माननीय अखिलेश यादव जी ने किया था, ये लोग उसको चालू नहीं करा पाए। ये लोग सिर्फ हिंदू मुस्लिम करते हैं, बस इसके अलावा इन लोगों के पास कुछ नहीं है।
In the peak of the winters, the mercury level has dropped drastically, even in the plain, whereas in the political spectrum, it is quite contrary. The high decibel campaign really raising the political temperature up in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and particularly the new entry of the central agency is now the center stage of this politics. The Kannauj, the IT raid that started in the perfume city, is now the hot topic, not only in this part of Uttar Pradesh, but all across the state. And now this is also taking center stage in the state's politics. Well, that's all from Kannauj with me, Ashutosh Mishra and Satya Ranjan Rautre for India Today.
Now, twin COVID blows to Delhi. This comes even as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has tested positive for COVID-19 early this morning. He was supposed to be attending a meeting, which he cancelled. He took to Twitter and then spoke about the mild symptoms that he's experiencing. Currently, he's in isolation at his residence. Kejriwal was on a campaign trail and was travelling rigorously ahead of the crucial Uttar Pradesh polls. He visited UP, Punjab, Uttarakhand, among others. Delhi Chief Minister asked people who came in contact with him to be tested immediately to mitigate the spread of this deadly virus. Meanwhile, BJP has hit out at Delhi Chief Minister after he tested positive, accusing Kejriwal of recklessly campaigning without wearing masks. Delhi has reported 4,099 new cases in the last 24 hours. Positivity rate in Delhi now stands at 6.4%.
Big news that is coming from the national capital is that Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has now tested positive for COVID-19. Relief for the Aam Aadmi Party supporters and those living in Delhi is that Arvind Kejriwal is in home isolation right now. His symptoms are mild. That is why he is in home isolation, and there is no need for hospitalization as of now. In the past 7 days, Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal was holding a series of rally in the state of Punjab, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and he had returned to Delhi yesterday, after which he had undergone COVID-19 tests in which he came out to be positive. He shared the details about him being positive this morning and appealed people who had come in close contact with him to observe or to go in home isolation. With video journalist Zia, this is Amit Bhardwaj for India Today from Delhi.
In the last entire week, while Delhi was facing a huge spike of corona cases and people in Delhi were suffering because of the kind of ad hoc restrictions that have been put by Delhi Chief Minister, and even while he was advising the people of Delhi what to do, what not to do in terms of COVID protocols, in terms of wearing a mask, Mr. Kejriwal wasn't leading by example, whether it was in Chandigarh, whether it was while campaigning in Punjab, whether it was in campaigning in Lucknow. And this is the reason that we are trying to now ask Mr. Kejriwal that wasn't his actions irresponsible? Shouldn't he have been a little more responsible? Imagine the number of people around him, whether in Chandigarh or yesterday or other places where he was campaigning.
सिम्टम्स अभी काफ़ी हल्के हैं और वो आइसोलेशन में हैं और उन्होंने अपील की कि जो लोग उनके कांटेक्ट में आए वो भी आइसोलेशन में जाएं और अपना टेस्ट कराएं। देखो, मुख्यमंत्री तक पहुंचना तो इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं, पर हाँ, लोगों को फैल रहा है और लोगों को सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है। जैसे कल भी मैंने कहा था कि अगर सब लोग मास्क लगाएंगे तो बच सकते हैं।
All right, I'm going to take you through the route map. In fact, to say the least, Arvind Kejriwal has been visiting several events in the recent past. He's tested positive for COVID-19, but in the last 5 days alone, Kejriwal has attended. On the 3rd of Jan, he's attended the Jan Sabha in Dehradun. In fact, let me take you through a few more places that he visited. He's also led the Shanti March in Punjab on the 31st of December. And then Kejriwal visited Ram Tirath Mandir in Punjab on the 1st of Jan. And furthermore, he's gone on to visit on the 2nd of Jan. He's attended the Jan Sabha in Lucknow. This is the information that we get here on the number of places that he's visited in the last 5 days itself. On the 3rd of Jan, he's attended the Jan Sabha in Dehradun. Here is Arvind Kejriwal's movements in the last 5 days itself. He's visited several public places and addressed public platforms. And that's the worry here. A lot of places where he's been clearly without wearing a mask as well. Weekend curfew has been announced in the national capital now due to a spike in Delhi's positivity rate. The weekend curfew comes into effect this week, starting Friday 10 p.m. all the way to 5 a.m. on Monday. These fresh restrictions have come into force in the backdrop of massive surge in COVID-19 case. In fact, all government employees are now instructed to work from home, while private offices will be working at 50% capacity in the national capital. All essential services are exempted in this order. While announcing curbs, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has also confirmed that public transport services, including metro and bus services, will now run on full capacity in view of overcrowding. Addressing media, Delhi Health Minister had in fact said, the Health Minister said experts believe that most new reported COVID cases are of the Omicron variant in Delhi. In fact, Delhi has reported over 4,000 fresh COVID cases in the past 24 hours. With positivity rate now in Delhi soaring high.
डीडीएमए की बैठक में सरकार ने कुछ फैसले लिए। उसमें सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि दिल्ली में सैटरडे और संडे को यानी वीकेंड्स पर अब कर्फ्यू रहेगा। तो लोगों से अपील है कि कर्फ्यू के दौरान बाहर ना निकलें। बहुत ज़रूरी होने पर हॉस्पिटल या कोई बहुत एसेंशियल ज़रूरत पर ही बाहर निकलें, लेकिन सैटरडे संडे को कर्फ्यू का पालन करें, घर में रहें, वर्क फ्रॉम होम करें। बसें और मेट्रो पूरी कैपेसिटी पे चलेंगी, लेकिन एक भी व्यक्ति को बिना मास्क के अंदर अलाउ नहीं किया जाएगा। तो अगर आप बस में जा रहे हैं या मेट्रो में जा रहे हैं तो बिना मास्क के आपको किसी भी कीमत पर अलाउ नहीं किया जाएगा। ना सिर्फ चढ़ना बल्कि वहां यात्रा करना भी अलाउ नहीं होगा। लेकिन बस और मेट्रो अब फुल कैपेसिटी पे चलेंगे।
दिल्ली में 4,099 पॉजिटिव केसेस आए थे। पॉजिटिविटी थी 6.46%। कल एक डेथ हुई थी।
सर, आज संक्रमण दर कितनी दर्ज होगी?
लगभग 8.5% के आसपास है। और एक्सपर्ट्स का ये कहना है कि अब जितना भी फैल रहा है ये ओमिक्रॉन ही है, इसको मान के चलिए ओमिक्रॉन का ही ज़्यादा फैला हुआ है।
All right, here we're looking at Omicron variant is mostly the dominant variant now in the national capital. In fact, the reason behind this is a staggering 800% rise in fresh COVID cases that was reported in just the last 7 days. Now, to combat the growing threat of Omicron, DDA will convene a crucial meeting at 11 a.m. to chalk out restrictions for Delhi. Milan Sharma with this detailed report.
A sudden COVID surge has Delhiites worried. And their concerns stem from these numbers. On December 28th, Delhi had reported less than 500 new cases. A week later, over 4,000 new cases were reported. A staggering 800% rise in just 7 days. And behind this rapid surge is the new coronavirus variant, Omicron.
2 दिन का जो लास्ट 2 डेज का बता सकता हूँ, उनमें 84% जो पेशेंट थे वो ओमिक्रॉन के थे। 84%। अगर पूरे महीने का निकालते हैं तो फिर वो कम हो जाता है। पूरे महीने की जरूरत नहीं है। हमारी आशा है कि जल्द से जल्द पीक आए और ये खत्म हो, और भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जनवरी से आगे बिल्कुल ना जाए।
Delhi government has urged people not to panic as hospitalizations are low in Omicron.
ज़्यादा लोगों को घबराने की जरूरत नहीं, सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है। 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस बता रहा है कि भाई मास्क लगाएं तो इससे बच सकते हैं, और जल्द ही दिल्ली के लोग सब मिलके इस कोरोना की नए रूप को, जिसे ओमिक्रॉन कहते हैं, इसको भी जल्द ही हराएंगे।
But health experts warn that a milder variant of COVID does not mean that citizens take it lightly.
The cases are not that severe. So we are getting cases with which come with mild symptoms like cough, cold, fever, sore throat, and especially with adults or children, if they are affected with some comorbid conditions, we may require oxygen, but we are all prepared now.
As of now, Delhi is on yellow alert, but with positivity rate shooting over 6%, harsher restrictions could be the logical next step. With Milan Sharma in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, COVID cases continue to surge in Mumbai. The last 24 hours have recorded over 8,000 infections. Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar has sounded alarm over surge, saying lockdown will not be imposed in Mumbai if daily cases cross the 20,000 mark. In fact, it's almost a warning that if it does not stabilize, one can only see that a lockdown may just be imposed. Omicron tally in Maharashtra has now risen to 578. Currently, Maharashtra is the worst affected state with Omicron variant. Maharashtra has also recorded more than 12,000 fresh COVID cases in the past 24 hours, accounting now for more than 32% of new COVID cases in India's COVID tally. However, out of the total admitted patients, only 948 were on oxygen support. Nearly 90% of the cases are asymptomatic. 2 deaths linked to the COVID, were also reported from Mumbai. Mumbai's positivity rate has now crossed 17% in a week's time from 4.3%. Schools in Mumbai will be shut for students from class 1 to 9 as well as 11. Offline classes will continue for students who are going to appear for board examinations of class 10 and 12, while students in the age group of 15 to 18 years can come to respective schools to get vaccinated. In fact, on on Monday itself, Mumbai began vaccinating teenagers along with all other states in the country. Teenagers between 15 to 18 were vaccinated. In Mumbai alone, a total of 1,026 teenage beneficiaries were jabbed yesterday.
आज भी रुग्ण की संख्या तिगनी चौगुनी हो रही है और ये चिंता की बात है, लेकिन डरने की बात नहीं। लॉकडाउन किसी को भी नहीं चाहिए। दस्तूर खुदा मुख्यमंत्री भी कह रहे लॉकडाउन नहीं चाहिए, तो भी लॉकडाउन नहीं चाहिए। ये अकेले मुख्यमंत्री अकेले इकबाल चहल आयुक्त बोल के नहीं होगा। जो हमारा राज्य सरकार है और जो हमारा केंद्र से आने वाले जो नियमावली है वो कह रहे कि ऐसे ही 20,000 के ऊपर रुग्ण पाए जा रहेंगे तो लॉकडाउन लगाना जरूरी होगा।
स्कूलों को जो 8वीं तक की है उसे बंद करके ऑनलाइन पढ़ाने का निर्णय लिया गया है। आंकड़े बढ़े तो कड़े कदम उठाने बिना कोई भी चारा नहीं रहेगा।
Now, update in the Cordelia cruise ship COVID scare. After Cordelia was criticized for the apathy, the company has now issued its first statement narrating their side of the story. It said that all passengers who boarded the Cordelia cruise ship were COVID negative. In fact, they had taken COVID negative reports from every single passenger who boarded that cruise party, a 2-day weekend New Year party that was organized where 2,016 people had boarded that cruise ship. The company has targeted Goa government, on the other hand, accusing the Goa government of not allowing some of the local people from Goa who were on board that ship to disembark. India Today has exclusively accessed inside images of the Cordelia cruise ship, which was stranded over COVID scare off the Goa coast. Chaotic scenes were witnessed from inside the ship. India Today has learned that people stranded inside the ship have been protesting against the crew members and questioning them on why curbs have been imposed on those people who have shown COVID negative. A total of 66 passengers tested positive on the Mumbai-Goa cruise ship. No positive patient has been taken to isolation ward in Goa. In fact, the ship is currently moving to Mumbai after being denied permission by Goa government to dock. The people who were not affected were also not allowed to leave the ship. At present, all positive and negative people are on that ship. In fact, they're stuck together. 66 people have shown positive, the rest of them are negative, and they're all on one cruise ship, not being able to disembark or go anywhere, unfortunately, because they're in the middle of the ocean. They're approaching towards Mumbai. A passenger stuck on the Cordelia cruise ship with his family has expressed grave concern about the increasing cases and the lack of cooperation from Goan authorities in isolating those infected. One of the kin of the relatives said that a crew member was tested positive first, after which 66 people were found to be positive.
There was a big panic movement and life-threatening movement for all the negative passengers. They saw all these 66 positive members coming back from the port in the ship, and everyone was feared and they were panicked because one crew member infected 66 people.
Now, after the outbreak at the Cordelia cruise ship, let's now also see the lies for all the 2,000 passengers on board. What next for them? In fact, the BMC will be deploying teams with local assistance from the municipal commissioner there, as well as doctors for regular checkups. As per the Mayor Kishori Pednekar, all passengers will now have to go through an RT-PCR test once again. They will have to be on the ship until the test results come out. And those who come negative will be allowed to leave the ship. Asymptomatic patients will be given choices to complete their quarantine period on the ship, or if they at all want to be shifted to a designated hotel. BMC will also be, in fact, the BMC will allow asymptomatic patients to shift to its COVID facility at the Mumbai Quarantine Center if they want to. Symptomatic patients may have to get admitted to a hospital as per their condition. And there you have it. That's the process for those who want to step out. In fact, first of all, you're not going to be able to step out. Those passengers, at least 2,016 passengers, including crew members, those are the numbers there, number of people who are on that cruise ship. None of them will be allowed to step out until a COVID negative report comes out. Only if your report is negative will they be allowed to step out. If not, we believe that they are given a couple of options, and those options are, of course, one, to remain on the cruise ship and to complete your quarantine. If not, if you're asymptomatic, you've tested positive and asymptomatic, then you can continue your quarantine in the cruise, on that cruise ship itself, or you can step out to a COVID facility, a quarantine facility. And only if you're negative, you will be allowed to walk free. Now, the cruise ship here has certainly turned into a serious COVID hotspot. In fact, many of those passengers are currently stranded who are really upset and worried as to how they're going to manage not getting the infection while they're inside the same ship where 66 people have tested positive and are currently quarantined. Now, there's a huge number of people on that cruise ship. India Today has accessed exclusive inside images. And from what we understand here, there are a couple of options that have been given to those people who are on that cruise. And those options here include, one is to complete quarantine on that ship. If you are tested positive, then you've got to stay there. It's your choice. Because if not, then you have a quarantine option at a designated hotel. The BMC has already designated some hotels for quarantine. And then three, you could, of course, shift to a COVID facility, in fact, arranged by the BMC. This is a facility, an institutional quarantine that you can choose to take. And then you have an option where you can shift yourself to a hospital if at all you are symptomatic. Again, governments have been constantly warning people not to panic and rush to hospitals. If you're able to manage your symptoms, then stay at home or stay at a designated facility. So these are options that have been given to those people who are positive on that cruise ship. Let me cut across to Sahil Joshi joining us for more on that. Sahil, what's scary is that there are 66 passengers on that cruise ship who've tested positive for COVID-19. The rest of them have tested negative. But now when they dock at the Mumbai port, all of them once again will have to go through another round of COVID test, an RT-PCR test. And post that, only those who have tested negative will be allowed to walk free. Those who are positive, even if they're asymptomatic, will have to stay back on that cruise ship, either that or move to an institutional quarantine facility. Now, these are options that have been given, but who is to stop the panic from inside? We see the crew members are so panicked and so worried of their family members and themselves that they want to do as soon as they reach the dock there is to step out and go home. That's not going to be allowed.
Well, absolutely. It looks like that at least for a day, the people will have to stay back on the cruise liner. Have they been let off at the Goa terminal itself? The people who are from Goa and who wanted to get off, who were found to be negative after the test, the things would have been easier, but that did not happen. Now, everybody, whoever wanted to disembark at Goa also had to come to Mumbai now. So they will have to go through this procedure again. Only after their test comes negative, they will be allowed to go and they will have to take back the flight to Goa, because that was their disembarkation point when they had taken cruise liner from Mumbai to Goa journey. A lot of people were supposed to get off at the Goa port itself, but that did not happen. Now the BMC officials are going to set up camp outside the cruise terminal. There, first they will conduct tests on all the people except those who have already been found positive. They will be asked to either quarantine themselves inside the ship, or they will be shifted to the BMC facility, and the other two options are also available. If they can afford to stay in the hotel, they can stay in the designated hotels, or if somebody is more serious or symptomatic, can be shifted to the hospital as well. But now, the detailed press release came from the cruise liner, clearly indicates that all the 66 people are asymptomatic. So there are no symptoms. They are not serious, to take them to the hospital as well. So it looks like that after the tests conducted on all the people who are found to be negative in Goa, then most of the people will be let off from the cruise liner. But right now, they will have to spend a day at least on the cruise liner. There will be two tests outside the terminus. Of course, the rapid antigen test and also the RT-PCR test. Now, it's up to the BMC officials that how they conduct all these tests immediately, one by one.
Mammoth exercise there. Imagine 2016 people. That's going to take a long while. Even for the test results to come, it might take a little while, as you already have laboratories there that are stretched owing to the rising COVID cases. People have been hectically testing. So 2016 passengers on board, all of them will have to go through a COVID test once the ship docks. Now, let me take you through, Sahil, stay with us. I'm going to take you through or break it down to you exactly what has happened on board this cruise ship that led to this outbreak. It's become the COVID cluster. It was on 2nd of January that one of the crew members tested positive for COVID-19 on that ship. Officials informed that all of the passengers will have to go an RT-PCR test, and if at all they found negative, then only they will be allowed to disembark. Now, RT-PCR tests of all passengers and crew members were done. Across passengers, 2016 passengers were tested. A day later, when the test results came in, 66 passengers showed COVID positive. The ship officials initially said negative passengers will be allowed to leave the ship when they dock in Goa. But unfortunately for them, Goan government refused to allow anybody to disembark from that ship because they were so worried that people have tested positive inside that ship. Even if they are negative, they will not be allowed to step out because it's not their responsibility. They want to shrug it off. They literally pushed them back inside that ship, and the ship had to go back carrying all those passengers, even local Goans who actually had embarked from Goa and had to disembark in Goa. They were not allowed. So they've come all the way back to Mumbai now. It's due to dock in the Mumbai port in a little while from now. India Today continues to track those developments. But finally, last night, the ship left from Goa after being refused by the Goan government to disembark. And now it's headed towards Mumbai, the cruise ship for which a couple's ticket costs a whopping 54,000 rupees and upwards only, based on the package there. It was supposed to be a big New Year bash. It was a 3-day cruiser, a cruise liner that was going to be moving from Mumbai all the way to Goa and back for those people local to Mumbai. And the ship was supposed to get back on the 3rd of January after the New Year's party. But here, because of this delay at the Goan port and due to 66 passengers showing positive, it appears that the entire party, the cruise party, the New Year party, has become a huge COVID cluster and a disaster of sorts.